So what we're going to do, we're going to try something that we were not successful in doing before. We're now going to use purified laboratory water, which has no mineral content to it, and is very difficult to see a change in the structure of the water with that kind of water. So we're going to see if the impossible can be done here.
But this is the purest water that can be made. It's called type 1 purified water.
Okay.
It's used in chemistry labs when they need the purest water possible, so they can't have any contamination of anything, and you're not going to touch it.
No.
Okay. What you're going to do?
If you touch the glass, it interferes with the measurement.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we're going to ask you to, Cami, to rub your hands together like this, just for 5 seconds. Yeah, like that. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And then just hold them over that vial like this with your palms, like pushing your palm. That's it. Put your palms down as low as you can. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds.
You can touch the cap.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. That's it. So Dr. Dibble's going to take the vial and put it into the machine, and we're going to take a measurement and see what it measures. And then what we've been finding is it doesn't change too much with the initial measurement because the structure is beginning to form, and then by adding mechanical inversion to it, we find that it enhances it.
Well, it's the same general readings, but what's interesting is that they're all the same, which is unusual. Usually they vary quite a bit.
Yeah, usually there's a wave.
Usually there's a wave that develops, and here they're rock steady. So that's another thing that's a little unusual.
And now we're going to do the inversion. Well, Cammie's involved with body energy medicine and things like that too.
I'm going to do an inversion. We'll see.
And what does the inversion do?
Adds energy to it.
It's like a mechanical
energy.
We think it may actually be releasing energy. Actually, what we have here is a nucleation of like little clusters that have formed, and very possibly there's a friction occurring with the inversion.
Indeed.
That's breaking open the energy and allowing the machine to measure it.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah, very similar to a chain reaction. Science is interesting.
3 times higher, right there.
See, there you go. So you did structure the water in a way that was holding the energy inside, and very possibly, we can't see inside that vial, but the inversion is causing the little clustering to rub over one another and breaking loose the energy that he can now measure.
That's amazing.
So what we're seeing here is you got to get him again.
How can it be that high? Over 2?
So it's very important to document that those numbers are not numbers that he's just writing down randomly. This is actually what the machine is showing. And that's for the highest purity water that is in a laboratory that's possible. He's got numbers here that from a turbidity standpoint, the water, it's amazing the amount of clustering that's occurring. And you know what's really amazing about this whole thing is in order to see this, for this machine to see this, unless it's releasing a tremendous amount of light that the machine is interpreting, but even so, it's a scattering. What's happening is there's an incident beam in this machine that's contacting minute particles in the water. And they absorb the energy, and then they re-emit it, and that's what we call the scattering, and it goes off in all different directions. Well, apparently there's an additional energy source that's been introduced that's giving us these higher readings in addition to the scattering that we're seeing.
Oh my God!
So
I don't understand. How comes that it oscillates so rapidly? that it changes the levels so rapidly.
Well, that's
Not
another
that rapid. It happens.
With you, it's
I mean, within seconds.
well,
yeah,
over a period of
the
minutes.
machine
it goes
actually
up.
takes like 5 measurements and averages them for each number
Yeah.
that you see.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Dibble takes them like every 15
Every
seconds
15
in addition.
seconds.
So, but this is a common piece of laboratory equipment that's used in water quality assurance. I mean, this is not some esoteric piece of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, they use this in labs for water quality assurance purposes, and the federal standard is the maximum you can have is 1. And one of these went up to 2.04. So that's...
So the point that I wanted to make in addition to this is very possibly what we're looking at here is a clustering of water where these particles are insoluble. You're looking at a water that's within water that's insoluble, because in order for the light to have been picking up the particles, it only picks up suspended particles that are insoluble. It doesn't pick up stuff that's dissolved.
Yeah.
That's the way the machine works. It's designed to pick up particulate stuff.
I get it.
Exactly.
Now I
Solids.
get it.
Yes, and so there shouldn't be
So
anything
there
in
shouldn't
there.
be anything in here.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank
That's
you.
what it is.
There shouldn't be anything in
Insoluble
there.
particles of water within water. Now, the really cool thing
You should
is,
get no reading.
if you were to take this water and put this on your skin, it won't feel like water. You will actually be able to detect. There is how I did my research was through feel. And that's how I discovered this accidentally. I was trying to find ways to make skin lotions without using oil. So I started working with water. And I found ways to create devices that would infuse this energy that's supposedly flowing through the air into the water and change the properties of the water.
I've never been able to measure values on this water using any methods above 0.2.
Wow.
So we just got 2. That's 10
amazing.
times higher than the most I've ever seen. What is your name?
Javier.
Javier. Okay.
All righty.
I'm happy to see we go back to
Okay,
the...
Javier, what I'm going to ask you to do, please, is just you rub your palms together like this for 5 seconds, okay? 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Then hold your hands over that vial like this with your palms down. Yeah, put your palms over it. Yep, there you go, like that. Both of them. I'm going to count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Great. Thank you, Javier. That's it. We just want to see what kind of energy we get out of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure I get enough readings here just to show that, yes, this is indeed what it is.
Yeah, that's
It's not
good.
jumping all over the place.
No,
This
that's
is
good. That's,
nice, steady readings.
That's excellent.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we could say Javier is the only balanced person that.
Cami was very good too. Okay, I'm going to turn it off for a while. Then we're going to do the inversion. Okay, I'm starting to measure it. A little higher. Okay, to going back down. So you see these initial readings are kind of low, but this is why I keep going.
Yeah.
Usually we'll get into spiky territory pretty soon. Yep, starting to go up. Briefly.
So he's not having the same
Not having the
effect
same
on the
effect.
water as the energy, as the people that are body energy healers.
It's very nice to see the difference, though. This tells me this is a great method that
Yeah.
I never knew about.
No, it is. It's a great. This could be a wonderful tool
I
for
know.
biofeedback for them,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's a wonderful discovery.
Yeah. It's only through doing these kinds of measurements that I can tell that there's actually some difference between people. And it's not just the space, it's just not the same, using the same vial. I mean, you worry about stuff like that. I use the same vial as the previous
Right?
one.
Was it
That could-
contaminated? But
that-
actually, it was
yeah,
not.
Yeah, but so we have three people: Dennis, Cami, and Javier. And you can see that there's a between Dennis and Cami, we've got similar results.
And was there much different between the inversion?
Huge difference with the inversion. So my interpretation of that is that they infused the water with some kind of structure, and the inversion actually released the energy, which this was able to then measure.
All right.
I'm measuring pure water here that I've been measuring in my lab for a year.
And where's Javier?
The lowest levels I saw for Dennis and Cami were higher than the highest levels I've ever measured in my lab. So to say that I didn't expect it, that puts it mildly.